Welcome guys, welcome to the first video. Here we are trying to learn web scraping. First of all, let me warn you, web scraping is a gray zone area. Okay, so be careful which website you are scraping, and we will be scraping a simple website, this Wikipedia file. Okay, this page machine learning, we will get this page scraped through our Python code. So let's get started. Here we will be using some packages. One of them is Beautiful Soup. This is mainly used for converting strings to Beautiful Soup objects so that we can scrap out data. So let's get started. First of all, we are trying just to get data, like we will get these contents, whole of this section, all of this data, these numbers, and after that we will get also these paras. Okay, these paras. Now how can you get that? We will also try to save this in a simple text file. So let's first inspect this page. Shift Ctrl I. You will see that these overview tags have a class of to text, span.toC text. So that means this has a class C text, and these numbers, all of these numbers are 2C numbers. So there are all the numbers, and so we get the point. These are 2C text, and as we are getting this whole paras, so we need not find the classes. We will get the p tags and we will get the text. Okay, so let's get started. I will be using VS Code. You guys can use your favorite your text editor. So first let's create a file and call it as app.py for just simplicities. Okay, app.py. Now we need two things. First of all, we need Beautiful Soup. So let's open out. I am working in Ubuntu, so you can work in Windows, Mac, anything, nothing, but doesn't matter at all. Now you need some packages like Beautiful Soup, as we talked. So how to import that? We will import it as import bs4. Okay, now if this package doesn't exist, you need to first open the terminal in this VS Code. How to do that? Press Ctrl and the backticks. Backticks is the symbol that is just below your escape key. So you will press that, the terminal will pop up. Now if you need to install this Beautiful Soup, then you need to type these commands: pip install Beautiful Soup. Okay, this was also written in the Beautiful Soup documentation page. You can get that. Here it is, Beautiful Soup, pip install Beautiful Soup 4. Okay, so Beautiful Soup 4, mine is already satisfied, so I don't need to do that. And if you are in Mac or in Linux, you need to be version specific. Okay, if Python 3, pip 3. Okay, if you are installing in Python normal Python 2, so Python 2 is basically deprecated, so we don't need that anymore. We can go for pip 3 install Beautiful Soup. That will also do. Okay, mine is already satisfied. You can get it. And next, the package we need is requests. Okay, this is a package that we will get the URL from the web page, and we will get whole web page into a variable, and we will scrap that out. Okay, let's work out. This also can be installed in the same way, pip install or pip3 install requests, if this package isn't already installed in your system. Okay, now let's create an object called res. Okay, then requests dot get. Now this get is a method. You have to pass an URL in this single quotations, and that will get that URL from the web, and whole web page HTML will be stored in the res variable. Okay, so what now let's go to the page. We are scraping this page. Okay, So as we are skipping this, now let's copy this URL. Okay, the URL is copied and let's paste it here. Okay, now what it will do, the request will get the URL, go to the website or web page, and whole HTML file will be approached and processed into the res variable. Now we need to do one thing. This res variable is not any use to us. If we need to get any data out of it, we need to convert it into a beautiful soup type of object. So how can we do that? Let's call that variable soup. Okay, then call it as not double equal to, sorry for that, bs4 is there, and then here notice the beautiful soup is used B and the S is in capital, so here maintain that, and if you screw that up, then the program will not probably run. Now what we'll do, we will take the res variable, we will scrap out the text out of it, and we will store it in LXML. Okay, LXML type of files, and this will convert the whole res file or response object into a soup object. Now we can get the data out of it. So now we are trying to do two things. We will get the numbers. We saw that the numbers had the classes 2C numbers, so how can we get? Let's call them as nums. Okay, nums, and soup dot select. Now this select will go to the text soup object, and it will select whatever class we provide. Now this provide is similar to CSS providence. If we need to provide an ID, we need to provide hash. If we need to provide a class, we need to provide dot. If we need to any tag, h1 tag, just h1, something like that. So we are approaching the class 2C number. Okay, now next, this will get these numbers, this will get whole these numbers, because if you see that these numbers have the class 2C number. Okay, these numbers, all of this will be get. Now let's go ahead and get the texts also. Call them as text, text, and also in this method soup dot select. Okay, and we will get the classes. Now we need to see what was the class. Okay, let's get here. The class of the text were 2C text. So let's get to our Python code, 2C text. Okay, and everything is mentioned in the documentation of Beautiful Soup, so nothing to worry about. If you need to read more, you can just read more. Let's get a variable. Now everything, if you print this, it will print. Let's just print the text that we have already got. Okay, if you print the text, we will need to print for I in text. Okay, print I dot text. What it will do, it will go to this text variable. This text variable stores all of the 2C text classes. Okay, now what we'll do, and store them in an array. This text is basically an array. We will look through the array and we will get the particular element and get the text out of it. Now if we'll run it, how to run this? Now python app.py, but first we need to save this, otherwise nothing actually will matter. Okay, so let's run this. What happens? Hopefully it runs. And yeah, first let us see what happened. Here you can see that there are some texts are being returned, just text. And if you see overview, machine learning approaches, history of relationship to other fields, and if you go to the web page, just look at these. Just look at this. You will understand that we got these overview, machine learning approaches, history to relationships. These all things have been approached, and we'll also got the numbers in the nums. So what we'll do to just let me clear this screen up. Okay, now the numbers length of these nums will also be same as the length of this text. So what can you do? Let's just create just a variable. First comment, let me comment this out. Okay, create a variable data. This data will hold all the text that we need to store in the text file. Okay, this is initially it is empty because we will provide the data later on. So let's go to let's get started. Sorry, for I in range. Now you are going from the range width because we need to simultaneously fetch the data from nums and text. So what we'll do, we'll and both have the same length, so we can go for any of these lengths. Let's go for len method and go for text. Okay, now it will iterate, it will get the length, and I will be iterated those many times. What we'll do, data equal to data plus nums. These nums are equal to these nums, same variable nums I. So we are iterating to the array and we are getting the text. Okay, now for some beautification, what we'll do, we'll add something like this so that it looks nice, nothing really that fancy. And we will also get the text out of this text array. Okay, we need the numbers as well as we will need the text. So what we'll do, we'll need the text, got them, and we need to iterate over them, and we will get the text. Okay, and so to make the data really look beautiful in the text file, we just need to do one thing, which just happen a new line at the end, so that every iteration adds the data at the new line. Okay, now let's do something more. Let's see another approach, direct approach. Now we are trying, if we do now this data variable contains all the numbers. Basically now this data variable contains whole of this contents section, the numbers, the text, everything. Now we need to get all the text paratext p tag. Okay, now let's say another approach. We'll directly fetch the data, we'll iterate through them, and we'll text that get the text out of it. So okay, so and we'll append that data to the end of this data, which is already append being fulfilled with this data. Let's do it. For I in soup dot select. So what we are doing, we are not storing in any variable. Well, this line we are doing, but we are not storing any variable, we are just directly going for it. Okay, select. Now we are going for the p tags, so we'll write like this p. Okay, it will select all the p tags, all of them. Okay, now we need to get the text and store it in the data. So what we'll do, same as the above, data equal to data plus, now this I contains in every iteration it will return an array, and this I will contain one whole element of the array in each iteration. Okay, so we need not pass any this array kind of things, so we will directly pass on the I and we will get the text out of it. Okay, I dot text. Now just for beautification, we will append a new line so that the new data appends to the new line. Okay, appends after a new line. Now this data variable, if we print it, we can see that this data variable contains whole lot of things. Okay, just print it. Then we will store it in a text file. let's print the data. Hopefully everything works, otherwise no meaning of it. We need to first save it. It is saved. Please don't give any suggestions right now. Okay, now if we run this, don't be scared because it will get us a whole lot of data. I told you. First it got us, wow, it got us the numbers, and these we appended these columns. So numbers according to the text, numbers, subpoints, everything. We got everything from the content table. If we compare it, we will see that this whole thing is the content table. Okay, this whole thing. And these are all the p tags. Every p tag in the web page was, there are lots of data in the web page. So every p tag got selected and every p tag got printed, so nothing to complain about really. Let's create the screen and come on. Okay, now we don't need to print that every time. What we'll do, we'll just go on and save this or write this data into a text file. Okay, now let's create a text file. This is a variable that will be of type file. Okay, open. Let's name the file as sample.txt. okay, and we will open it in write mode. So hope you will all know that. So if this sample.txt file is already available in this folder, it will just override the data it has if we open it in write mode and write some data. But if the file doesn't exist, it will do us an honor and create the file. After that it will append or write all the data inside the file. Okay, so we have the file in our hand. So what we'll need to do, we need to just write the data in the file. So our variable is text file. This variable, this is basically a file type of variable. We need to write. Okay, we need to write the data. Now what can we do? How many characters are written in the file? We can keep track of that. This write method returns something. Okay, let's just store it in n so that we can track how many characters are being written. We'll print it out, and up this line will write the whole data in the text file sample.txt. And now for being safe from data leakage, we need to close this file. Okay, so how to do that? Text file dot close. That's just that's it. We are done. It will so these simple lines of code will go to that Wikipedia page. We'll get all the numbers, text, all the p tags, write them in the data variable. The data variable will be written inside this sample.txt. We will print how many characters are being written, and just will close it. Okay, let's just print this in. Hopefully it works. Okay, let us save it. Now don't know why it just shows this, some extension error maybe. So if we'll just run this file, what we'll do, we can see that in here there is no such variable such as there is only app.py, no sample.txt. And now if we'll run this script, it will create a sample.txt file. In the write mode, it will write all the data, it will close the file, and how many characters are being written, we will just print it. Okay, let's hope so. And you can see that sample.txt file is here. We will open that in a second, and we have written 42,714 characters. Wow, that's a lot of characters. Now open this sample.txt and voila, everything is here. Everything just got in the data variable, and the data variable got stored. Now if we haven't used a new line, everything will be clumped. at the end of each line, so we don't want that. And you can see that wow, a lot of data, basically lot of data. Let us just do one thing. What we'll do, we'll just skip this p tag for simplicity. We'll comment it out. And now if we run this script, now let me clear. And now if we run this script, the sample.txt file will be there, but the data, I don't know, maybe will be, oh, we forgot to save it. Wow. Let's just save it now. Yes, I got that we shouldn't be printing 42,714. It should be much less, because we avoided all the p tags. Okay, so now we are talking, we printed 1133 characters. That much acceptable. And if we see the sample.txt, it just got the content section, nothing more. Okay, because we avoided the p tags. So this is a very basic example, not so much hardcore, very basic example of how we can scrape a web page, how we can get the data, how we can get according to classes, data according to classes, how we can get data according to p tags. P tags, basically here we used p tags, but we can use anything, title, we can use h2, h1, any tag. Okay, the beautiful soup version, here this beautiful soup object accepts data something like css type. Okay, so hopefully this was very interesting. I am very new to recording this type of videos, so please pardon me if I am being subtle. So thank you for watching. See you next time.